Hi everybody, it's me just checking in. I came in today to just tell you a couple of things. I dyed my hair. This is ash blonde that you're seeing from you now. I think it's Fructis Olea. Somebody Olea. It's an oil-based hair coloring. It lightened it up here, as you can see, but not where I wanted it to be lightened. And I wasn't trying to go for blonde. This was ash blonde that I have in here, but I had to lighten it in order to apply the darker brown color, which just made my hair blacker. But at least this time I didn't have the issue with my hair coming out. I have it pinned up in the back. I had a cute little bun going earlier today. I'm getting ready to go to bed now, so I put it in my 4 plaits. Nothing much going on here on our side. We're still in the house for now. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen. I went to the auction and I think there were maybe 15 or 20 people there. We went twice. We got there too early at 7:30 and found out it didn't start until 10. So we stayed from 10:30 to 12 o'clock. But the people who were handling this property, they never showed up and they wouldn't return my calls. But what was interesting to me, we saw 3 companies. Auction.com, a sheriff from somewhere, and another person that were, and some of them don't speak very loud, so you have to, really walk up to them and pay attention to what they're doing. But I found it interesting. This one man that was parked near our car, so we parked right in front of the courthouse, and the steps maybe 10 feet away. But he was buying multi-$100,000 properties the way people might go to the store and buy a bottle of water. And he was a very nice guy. He talked with us, and another person talked with us, and we just left at 12:30. I spoke to a person who worked for the county, and he was like, there's nothing you can do here, and I didn't think that there was. I just wanted the people to know that I was occupying the house because this lady has been so deceitful. I was fearful that as I'm trying to get out of here, maybe they would give her some kind of notice that this house had to be vacated and I wouldn't be aware of it. But I'm not worried about it anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Let's see. Lala and Lolly will both be homeschooled by me this year. We'll be starting homeschool in August the 10th, I believe. And I'm looking forward to that. We're waiting for books to come. Books will be here towards the end of July. And we'll go from there. Lala does not want to be homeschooled, but I think it's best for both of them. It'll certainly make things easier for my daughter. And I will just enjoy having them with me. My little Ethan had Honors Day program at his school today, and they called it Stepping Up. And his mom said that he was so... She sent me a videotape, and I want to upload it, but you can't really see Ethan. You can't tell which kid is which kid, so... But they were just singing and praising God. It was so cute. And he had stayed here. Ethan was here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night. Oh, good news. Well, kind of good news. Okay, let me start with the good news. My nephew, who is married to Ethan's mother, Travis, my sister's son, he joined the church Sunday. And I was so happy about that because I had told my daughter, I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday, that I was worried for Travis's soul, because I heard him say one time, he wasn't ready to be saved. He wasn't ready to join the church. And, we don't have a timetable like we can pick and choose. And I just don't want any of my family to leave here not being saved. So he joined the church. He's on the usher board, and he's on 2 other two other ministries. And so Lasmaki's funeral was Monday. I could not go. Everybody in my family went. I mean, all my nephews and nieces, Ethan, me, and Lala and Anthony, we were here. But everybody else went. My sisters and their children and their children's children, but I couldn't do it. I wouldn't want to see Smokey in that coffin. But Nick made a video for me of the interment at the cemetery, and it was just beautiful. They played some beautiful music, and there were doves that were released at the closing of her ceremony. And the guy that killed her, his funeral was Tuesday. I don't know anything about that. But, you know, the minister at the church, he's a young guy. And he was telling the young people there what I was going to go and try to say Sunday, but I just couldn't do it. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to make anybody mad. But he was like, you know, this isn't a time for anybody to seek any kind of revenge. If we want to revenge her death, we have to take care of her children, which is what I agree. I had posted on my Facebook page that, you know, that was what we needed to do. You know, we need to come together in our faith and help these kids, because they, you know, they do have aunts and uncles, but I just think, you know, because especially for my family, they grew up with that little girl, and you know, we all know her, that we ought to just do what we can to help them. And that's what I want to do. If the Lord will provide for me, I want to help provide for those children. And so Travis was an usher at her funeral, and he and his wife came by here Monday night. They came to get Ethan. Well, no, they came to drop Nick off because she had class on Tuesday, so we had both of the children. And Ethan was with me all day, so he didn't go to school Monday, but he had to go Tuesday. Well, yes, he did. I took him to school. No, he didn't go to school Monday, but I took him to school Tuesday. And when he got out the car, he's so sweet. He blew me a kiss, and he just couldn't wait to get back over here. And he wouldn't leave. He kept telling his mama bye. But I told him, I said, don't you want to go see your grandma, Deborah? That's my sister. And he said, oh, okay, I'll go see her for a little while, but I'm coming back. And they didn't bring him back. And when he finished his honors program today, he was trying to get over here, but they wouldn't bring him. So he'll be here Thursday, which is tomorrow. And Ethan will be going to school all summer. He's in the 3rd grade. I mean, he's 3 years old. And he knows every letter of the alphabet. He can identify it. He can spell his name. He knows his mother's phone number. He knows my address. And Travis, his father, you know, they sometimes, I think Travis gets a little, they get a little jealous because Ethan and I are best buddies. But I reminded Travis when he came over here, when I congratulated him on coming into the kingdom. I said, Travis, you act so crazy, but do you know that you used to love me like Ethan does? He said, used to. I still do. And that made me feel good, because we haven't been close physically as we used to, but knowing that he still loves his aunt, that made my day. And that he has given his life to Christ, that made my day even better. So, you know, God is always willing to look at my hair sticking out like Pippi Longstocking. I put so much grease in my hair today. My daughter, when she did the back for me, she said I had to go wash my hands. She said I not grease, but you know, moisturizer and stuff. So that's all the good news I have today. We're not doing anything tomorrow. We're going to start packing up some stuff. And I'm going to be doing some math training with Lala and Lolly, just to keep them on their toes for homeschool. And that's it. And Friday, my insurance company gives me something called the Silver Sneakers program, where I get a free gym membership. And my leg still hasn't healed. As a matter of fact, that initial blister or ulcer is almost healed, and now I got a new one. I don't know where that comes from. But I'm not going to be trying to get into the pool. What I'm going to do is go and find somebody to help me with the weight training part, building up my muscle and walking with my rollator. There's an indoor track, and maybe on the treadmill. I'm scared of that treadmill. I'm scared I might fall. But I want to do whatever I can to keep moving, because I'm moving now more than I used to. And I'm telling you, that's a blessing. And if I could just lose 100 pounds, I really want to lose more than that. But if by the end of this year I can have 100 pounds gone, I'd be myself again. And it would just be so tremendous for me, for my family. What is this? Is this a pimple? Y'all excuse me. Well, that's all I got. I love you all, and I thank you so much for checking in with me. And I'm trying to just think if I had anything else I wanted to share. But there's really no new news going on in our lives. We're just taking everything one day at a time. So I just encourage you all to, be kind to one another, stay blessed, stay focused, and when you got an opportunity, please, please don't judge people by the way that they look. If you have an opportunity to be kind to someone, please do so. And that kindness goes, prayer is the strongest gift that you can give anybody. You don't have to know their name. You can say, Lord, that man I saw today that, looked like he was down and out, or that lady that looked like she wasn't feeling good. I ask you to, Jesus, jump in there and try to see what you can do for them. God isn't a genie that grants wishes, but he hears us, and he's aware of everything that we're going through. But I think he gets, some pleasure out of knowing that we care for each other enough to lift each other up that way when we see people in need. If you can help and it doesn't cause you any harm, do so. And like I said, prayer is the greatest gift that you can give. And a smile, of course. Take care.